And the other manager, Yang Kun, she was like, Andre, you really need to help him. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll get around to it. Did not find any time for it. I feel so bad. So I'm not.
If HwangSin loses,
take Coach Greytorp out right now. It just casts her Greytorp.
Well, you really know what happens then if HwangSin doesn't
Please don't say anything. Don't say anything. Because I also rooted for ThorZaIN.
You picked ThorZaIN prediction. Wow, talk about stacking the deck in your
God.
favor. Yeah,
I feel like a terrible person.
For those of
right
you
now.
who don't know, Andre is like an official coach the teammates goes to.
Oh God, I'm so sorry,
which is what HwangSin team. That's the team he's on. The blue Protoss player in the top right corner. Andre, breathe, man.
I'm such a terrible human being right now.
You're just.
Dude,
you're busy.
I didn't vote for. Anyway, HwangSin was.
That is pretty bad though, to be a vote against your own player.
Dude, I just think ThorZaIN is
he's a beast.
He's a monster.
Like,
I don't think anybody can not say that.
I mean, he has been the title holder of Best Foreign Terran for a long time. A lot of people are saying when Lucifron practices, because I mean, a lot of people are bandwagoning now saying Lucifron's really good, but it's one of those things where when Lucifron's practicing, he's on top of his game. He's definitely one of the best players, if not the best player in Europe. But also Major, those three guys I think are in the top 3 contention right now, but ThorZaIN's always been like the guy to go to. He's kind of like the Nest-T of Terran. People said, you know, when they think about top Zergs, for a long time it was Nest-T, but then people started incorporating Dongregu and Leenock and Symbol, but everyone always kind of refers to Nest-T as the first Zerg great. And that's the way I see ThorZaIN. That's why it's always hard to bet against him.
Yeah, and
I'm spending a long time trying to justify your pick, Andre.
Let's be honest, ThorZaIN is not known for his Terran versus Zerg or his Terran versus Terran. He's known for his Terran versus Protoss. That's how he got a lot of, I would say...
TSL3, man.
Yeah, TSL3 was the #1 thing that gave him the most promotion, I think. And of course, his amazing run, not only against Naniwa, but also against MC. I mean, his matches were absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. And I know ThorZaIN has since gone on record to say TVP, for a while he didn't know how to play it. That's when people thought TVP was a really tough matchup for Terran to play. But I think it's now kind of transitioned back where a lot of Terran players feel more comfortable playing against Protoss and Zerg. And it's really funny because a lot of Terrans actually complain about playing Terrans nowadays. They say TVT is kind of like one of the weirder matchups to play, especially with all the coin flips. So we'll see how ThorZaIN really fares in this situation. He is going for a pretty standard build here, going for a quick command center, but he's also double gassing off of 2 racks, which is a very interesting thing because ThorZaIn likes to play with gas timings, like 2 SCVs on a geyser instead of 3.
Keep going. Just keep going. I like whatever you're saying.
Is he doing that? Yeah. Oh. Okay, never mind. He's putting 3 on each.
This is the same build that I do. I go 2 racks, double gas directly after this. I think it is the best build to do. And the person that I got this from was ThorZaIN. He was the one that introduced me that you can defend any all-in with 3 bunkers. All you have to do is have SCVs and get your tech lab fast enough. And you get your tech lab. This stim should finish around 8 minutes. That's when most all-ins come. So all you have to do is hold off for approximately 20 seconds, which is doable. Get your stim, and you're able to actually really take out anything that comes your way.
It was really safe against the 4-gate blink 1 base, which is not what HwangSin is doing, but for those of you who might be curious who want to copy this build, how does it fare against, because that's the scariest build.
Yeah, it's fine. You just make sure that you see no expansion coming up, and you just switch over to 4
barracks.
Yeah, 4 barracks. And what you end up doing is instead of getting the stimp, you get combat shields.
I'm always very stubborn and get the factory in Starbucks. I want the medevacs. I always think 2 medevacs make such a big difference, but then Stalkers blink and snipe them. I'm like, well, that was
well, 150 minerals for the factory, 100 gas for the factory, and then 150, 100 for the starport, and then 200 for the medevacs.
And then Stalkers to blink underneath.
Just to heal 10 hit points. It's like, maybe I gotta rethink that. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that's really hard to defend if you go medevacs. But yeah, the way to do it is actually go for the barracks. But for here, engineering bay is coming up and factory. This is going to facilitate a 10-minute timing medevac. Right around there, he's going to push out around 10 minutes, 30 seconds, or he'll be at the Xel'Naga Tower at around 10:30, and that'll really enable him to deny any third bases, premature third bases, while at the same time putting on pressure on his opponent. Now, what do we see from HwangSin? He's doing a very interesting build where he goes Robo and then double Forge. Normally you see double Gateways directly after this. And this is to prepare for that prepare for that medevac timing that normally comes around 10 minutes. So he'll have 1-1 by then. He'll have efficient units, and hopefully he can get his third by just sheer upgrades.
Yeah, and sometimes we see Korean Protoss kind of flirt with the idea of going for a fast Twilight after their robotics as well to get things like Blink, and then go 1 Forge, right? But going for double Forge, I always am a big proponent of fast upgrades in TV on either side. But this is also very interesting that I want to note that HwangSin has 2 probes per gap that is natural. So he's scaling it back a little bit so he can squeeze out, I guess, more probes because he's spending a lot of Chrono Boost non-stop on his next side. Yeah, this is just a cool style. Yeah,
very interesting. Of course, he just wants to saturate his mineral line before actually getting to gas. That's what you need to do, really, when you are going robotics bay. Yes, you need a lot of gas, but you a lot of times are very short in the mineral area. So you need to obviously really prioritize that first. Here's the 9-minute push out. This is just to get your Marines and Marauders over to the other side, and medevac should be popping out. Wow, this is actually really fast. I do want to say I actually misread this build ever so slightly. He got the engineering bay a little bit later. His first 100 gas went to getting the factory rather than getting the +1, so it does come out that much faster. It should work out to...
Are we doing math again on stream?
Yeah, I'm doing math again on stream. I'll figure it out while you actually
here's
talk.
some math for you. HwangSin will have 2-2 start very soon as the Twilight Council finishes. It already has finished, so he has to be careful of his 10 minutes to medevac timing that most Terrans use just to set up some minor aggression to deny Protoss' third while setting up their own. Very textbook from ThorZaIN. Just has to make sure not to overcommit. It's very easy to just lose a huge pack of your bio, and then you can't have any aggression. But this is a very vulnerable spot for HwangSin before he's able to really do anything. HwangSin's attacking his own gateway.
Yeah, you take that gateway. You take that. No, obviously.
Wow. That was warming up, sharpening the thermal lances.
Yeah. By the way, it's 25 seconds faster that you get your factory up.
How sick would that be, though, if you like charged up your thermal lance like Void Rays?
Like Void Oh, God. That would be sick if you could do that with Zealots. Like, after a certain amount of attacks, they actually dull their blades, and then they have to attack their own buildings to get plus attack. Yeah, from the shields, man.
Man, it's like such a weird like mechanic, but it's very cool.
You'd see so many MMA games where Zealots are killing Nexuses on accident.
Like repeats of the illusion game where you kill your own head.
Yeah.
You see a slew of upgrades for both players and a Ghost Academy, a very early Ghost Academy from ThorZaIN. I guess he didn't see the Colossus, and HwangSin did hide it, so it could be his idea that he thinks his opponent is going for factory tech, but he's also going for Vikings at this point, so he's stretching his gas very thin, Andre, and he's starting a second starport. Very, very good play from ThorZaIN. I do like earlier Ghost, though. I feel like Terrans have been delaying it for so long. But more of that Eastern European style of getting Ghosts early, like Happy, like Eastern early Ghosts.
I think that's a lot better in this position. ThorZaIN is actually misreading the position by getting that second starport. Yes, it's good against the Colossus, but HwangSin, really his gas investment isn't in getting a ton of Colossus really, really fast. It's in getting these upgrades. The upgrades are the ones that are so important. Now, you might say, okay, this third base is really delayed, but HwangSin lately has been playing a style where he's just comprehensive in every single defense against a lot of the range that his opponent can do. Oh my gosh, look at this. ThorZaIN lifted. I think he thought that it might be some sort of all-in. No, I have no clue why he lifted. It was an accident.
He lifted
his third base. I'm sorry.
It's probably just a simple accident. You know, something that's actually kind of cool is that ThorZaIN.
You see this?
Oh, the mule.
I'm sorry.
The draw mule to repair the factory. That's pretty dope, man. Wow, now he can keep his factory alive to see if he cancels that third base and also to see the scout unit positioning. Such a, I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg of how smart of a player ThorZaIN is. Another smart thing that ThorZaIN does is he actually puts the lift on F because to help lift faster, and because a lot of times you miss the L button. A little tip for Terran players also. I do that too.
How could you tell that?
Oh, I watch the stream a lot. I watch ThorZaIN stream almost religiously, man.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So very important to note. I know people do that with burrow and unburrow as well.
Yeah.
So right now,
I always burrow, and I always unburrow when I mean to burrow and vice versa.
Like,
all right, unburrow now, and they go straight into the ground. I'm like, okay. HwangSin trying to see where the Terran army is. At this point, ThorZaIN's playing very good zone defense. He's got 9 Vikings, which is a pretty reasonable number. Oh, he's got 10, actually.
This is the 2-2 timing, by the way, from HwangSin. And this is such a good timing, too, because you can see HwangSin is 20 seconds away from actually getting his 2-2. So this is hitting at a perfect time. And look, this actually zoning his opponent out. This is such a great position. Now force fielding again. ThorZaIN is going to wait. I don't think that's the best way to actually go about this, but what can he really do? Going into the main base. Oh my gosh. ThorZaIN losing so much position.
No, but the Colossus are taking a lot of free damage without retaliation, and even though, yes, he's going to lose a lot of production, HwangSin's almost completely sealing the fate of his army straight into the main base of Terran. And as long as ThorZaIN doesn't lose too much production, HwangSin could be asking for a world of pain in the counterattack. The Vikings are dealing with the Colossus very nicely. ThorZaIN playing very patiently, not trying to overextend himself, but now only Gateway remain. Oh, and lifting his starports. Very clever play. He needs those starports for later on. ThorZaIN going for a mass stim. No more sentry energy. The time for confrontation is now. +2 and +2 has finished for both players, and ThorZaIN will clean up this army very easily. Although his +3 has been stalled by the Zealots. Very nice play. Now, HwangSin, do you have the ability to counterattack? Oh, he killed the 3rd.
Yeah, he killed the 3rd, and not only that, killed one of the starports, which is so fantastic. You can see that the medevac count is still pretty good. 4 medevacs on the field. How many Oh, wait, 10 Okay, forget it. Forget what I was about to say. I was going to say, oh, he has no Vikings, so, Colossus are going to be so much better. Wrong, wrong. These Colossus are going to get smacked in the face.
Yeah, and
but you know what? HwangSin's still in a great position. He can give up this 3rd base and just be like, okay, ain't no thing.
He's going to try to hold the 3rd base. He's putting up 5 cannons.
I don't mind that at all.
And ThorZaIN does have a pretty good bountiful of energy on this medevac, so we can keep healing for a while. And
is charge up, by the way?
Charge is up.
Charge is up. That's going to be so helpful.
+3 is only halfway done. ThorZaIN's picking a very nice time to strike. If you can completely get a good position, avoid getting force fielded and his Zealots smacking his army, ThorZaIN could make some magic happen here. But it's going to be tough.
Oh, my. This is a very tough position for ThorZaIN to be in.
Whoa,
but we might see the big attack right now, and probes are being pulled. HwangSin knows this is the most important battle right now.
Yeah, but the Zealots are engaging without any Guardian Shield support, and ThorZaIN cut it beautifully to be able to take out the army. And, that's a great job there. Now the Colossus have been dealt with. No more real AoE. Dodging the force fields like a champ. ThorZaIN avoiding the Protoss ability to lock down and engage the army face to face, using the force field to his advantage. And now ThorZaIN is able to really confront the army of Terran. Is very strong. Sure, +3 is about to finish, but ThorZaIN got everything he wanted from that fight.
Oh, absolutely. But these Zealots will be a little bit more powerful. You can see that, ThorZaIN really doesn't have much substance to this army anymore. And because the Marine count isn't too high, that's actually a big problem going into this. But now taking out the Natural, obviously the best possible situation for ThorZaIN. But he will lose his army now, so they're going to trade up. The counterattack was pretty successful.
Yeah, I mean, he's able to kill a bunch of the gas-intensive units. HwangSin not only loses all of his army, but he also lost a huge part of his economy as well. His probe count is very low, and ThorZaIN's back on triple orbital. ThorZaIN didn't lose that much production, man. Like, he still has 9 barracks, and he still has 1 starport. So as long as he can keep those things in check, HwangSin, I don't think he can really keep up too much because he's might not have his main.
Yeah, what HwangSin needed actually was the High Templar switch. He needed something like Archons in that last fight to be able to keep up with that mass bio. Obviously, his opponent is hard countering. I can say hard countering because that's a lot of Vikings for the amount of Colossus that were on the field. So the Colossus instantly die and you have just gateway units. Well, do you have anything of substance with your gateway units? Not really. That's why probes had to have been pulled. If not, he would have died straight up right there. But if HwangSin just teched over, even if it's Dark Templars and you get Archons out, that's going to be enough. Because when Marauders are attacking 37 times just to kill a single Archon, that's a big problem.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough for HwangSin to hold off this follow-up push from ThorZaIN, just because ThorZaIN just has so much more ability to macro at this point. ThorZaIN also starting to get Ghosts onto the field, so even though HwangSin sure is transitioning to High Templars, HwangSin's more than prepared. He's taking 4th base. The Spoon Terran back at work, man.
Yes, sir. And
do
ThorZaIN,
everything to push an advantage until actually pushing the advantage.
he's certainly showing why he is a world-class TVP expert. And honestly, coming back from that, when Protoss is all the way inside your main base, taking out your starport, taking out some barracks, but for the most part, just being so cost-efficient, that really shows you, you know, his understanding of the matchup, how he actually is able to dissect what you're capable of having, what you can have in this position, and then making the best decisions. ThorZaIN obviously attacking when HwangSin was absolutely weakest, and his only timing really. Just great
thing
play.
is, ThorZaIN is giving time to HwangSin. I felt like he could just kill them, actually. But I mean, that's just ThorZaIN's style. That's why he is a Spoon Terran.
Yeah.
Don't kill you with an axe or hammer, kill you with a spoon. And at this point, ThorZaIN is just waiting for the huge guaranteed army advantage. He'll get Ghost in his composition. He will have +3/+3, and he'll have such a decisive macro advantage. And at this point, HwangSin just really has units, and he can't really afford to keep bolstering his economy because he only can focus on making units. And that's going to sabotage his ability to really reinforce if there's even a chance to reinforce.
HwangSin does need to think about getting his 4th base, though. I mean, staying on just basically 2 mining bases for this long, yeah, it's definitely